The following is a presentation of Time Warner Sports.
It's the end of the regular season. It's the end of the Horizon League season. Wright State taking on Wisconsin Green Bay here at the Nutter Center on Senior Day, and we'll have it all next. Here at the Irvin J. Nutter Center, it's Raider basketball. Alongside Mark Vest, I'm Geoff Kim. We're pleased to have you along for Senior Day, and in this case, the lone senior is Zach Williams. Mark, you've been through this before. What is going through the mind of Zach Williams right now?
Well, it's a difficult preparation for a game. You know, your entire career is going through your head. You're coming to the realization that this is probably it. You know, it's a very emotional time. Hopefully, Zach can come out as he always does, handle the emotion, and play well here this afternoon.
Looking at this team in Wisconsin Green Bay, this is a team that played to overtime when they played at the start of 2005. We should see quite a match here this afternoon.
Well, I think we will. They bring a lot of experience on the perimeter. 3 senior guards. Wright State's going to have to deal with that. In the last game up in Green Bay, they played very, very well in the second half, only to lose in overtime. So it's going to be a tough test here for the Raiders.
One guy I do want to hit upon is an underclassman, sophomore Drew Burleson. More and more, this team has been going to him, creating plays for him. He should be a big factor as well this afternoon.
Well, I think he will, especially on the backboards. Drew is a very athletic kid, plays very, very strong here on the home floor. Look for a big game out of Drew.
It's Wright State and Wisconsin Green Bay. The starting lineups, the opening tip when we come back in just a moment here on Time Warner Sports.
TWTV's presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dodge, Cub Foods, Wright State University, and by Pepsi. TWTV's presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Horizon League, Morris Home Furnishings, and by Gold Key Homes.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Victoria Kennedy from Bellbrook, Ohio with the nation's anthem, and we're just mere moments away from the start of this one. The final game here of the regular season, the Horizon League finale as well, here between Wright State and Wisconsin Green Bay. Along with Mark Vest, I'm Geoff Kim. It's also a Hall of Fame induction day. And Mark, before we get started here, you're a Hall of Famer at this school. What kind of honor is that to be inducted into your school's Hall of
It's
Fame?
a tremendous honor, Jeff. You know, it's something that every time you think about it, you look at the list or you remember the others who have been inducted in the past and those to come in the future. It's a tremendously humbling thing to think about. Who you're included with, and it's great. It's a tremendous source of pride.
So we're just about set to go here, courtside here for this one. Wright State in with a record of 13-14, 7-8 in the Horizon League. They have pretty much locked up the 6th seed. They'll host a home game on Tuesday. Wisconsin Green Bay has indeed locked up the 2 seed in the conference. They are 17-9 over and all, and 10-5 in the conference, and they have the 2 seed and a first-round bye. There you see the starters here. First for Wisconsin Green Bay, the Phoenix with Rhodey, Mendaburu, Morris, Flores, and Lawrence. Benito Flores has been hot as of late.
Yeah, that's going to be the big matchup, I think, here this afternoon, Jeff, between Benito Flores, who, as you mentioned, has been on a tear, double figures in his last 15 games. In the first game between these two teams, he really wasn't a factor, but boy, you couple him with the tremendous experience they have on the perimeter of this team. They're a dangerous team.
Very balanced, double figures from all 5 starters, and Wright State set to get on the floor here as well. And here's Wright State starting lineup of Wood and Boyd in the backcourt. Up front, Spencer, Burleson, and Zach Williams, the lone senior. We saw him get honored to a very nice ovation here at the Nutter Center. And, you know, this is for a guy that spent the first 3 years of his career at Ohio State, sat out a year, and then decided that he wanted to play his final year under Paul Biancardi. What a nice ovation for him.
Well, and for only 1 year, he's been a tremendous addition to this program. There you see Paul Biancardi, center of your screen, his second year at Wright State, 13 and 14. Horizon League play this year, 7 and 8. But Zach has been a tremendous influence on this program for the very short time that he's been here. Those are the kind of guys that are very difficult to replace.
Absolutely. On the other side is Todd Kowalczyk, who's in his 3rd year with Wisconsin Green Bay. So a couple of youngsters, if you will, relatively speaking, as far as being a head coach is concerned, getting after it here. Wanted to hit upon Wisconsin Green Bay momentarily here. They have locked up the 2 seed. However, they locked it up a long, long time ago, and all of a sudden it seems like, depending on who you talk to, they've become somewhat lethargic. Maybe Wright State can take advantage of that this afternoon.
Well, you know, they really have everything to lose here this afternoon. If I'm Todd Kowalczyk and his staff, you know, I'm hoping for a warm-up and to build some confidence, but, you know, they don't play till next Saturday, so they've got a week off to prepare. But, boy, you know, as a coach, I'm sure he's thinking in the back of his mind, I hope nobody gets hurt. I hope nobody gets hurt. One more time, I hope nobody gets hurt. Could be very dangerous for this team.
Wright State, as we mentioned, pretty much locking up the 6th seed. They will likely take on Butler at the 7th seed on Tuesday night, March 1st, here at Wright State, with the benefit of them being the upper seed here at the Nutter Center. And there you see Todd Kowalczyk there, and center your pitcher. And we're just about set to go. As we had mentioned here, as we had talked about prior to this ball game, this is a tightly contested affair that we're expecting this afternoon because of the big 73-71 game that was won in overtime up in Green Bay by the Phoenix. Very physical in nature, but if Wright State can overcome some mistakes in that ball game, they win that ball game almost somewhat easily.
Well, I agree. I think that a big key to today's game, if you look back at that game earlier in the season up in Green Bay, Wright State has got to stay in this game early. They got down to a big deficit, and they battled so hard to get back in the game, particularly having to shoot 71% from the field in the second half, that, you know, they climbed the mountain but couldn't reach the peak. And it's going to be a battle here this afternoon.
Everett Spencer, Benito Flores jumping center, tap controlled by Wright State. We are underway here at the Nutter Center. Deshaun Wood gets the first touch, handling the ball. The sophomore out of Detroit, Michigan, averaging 15 a ball game.
Green Bay will play man-to-man defense, and they'll play a lot of it.
Spencer
Everett Spencer
has the first look, no good. Tapped around, it belongs to Wisconsin Green Bay.
You know, you look across the floor, you see Paul Biancardi clapping to Everett. Great job. You know, did a nice job working without the basketball, but you got to finish those shots. A little bit of, probably a lot of enthusiasm right there. Put it too strong off the glass.
Wisconsin Green Bay going inside, first thing, and the first bucket made by Josh Lawrence, sophomore out of Ashton, Illinois. It's 2-0 out of the gate for Wisconsin Green Bay.
Josh Lawrence, one of those stereotypical Green Bay big men, you know, 6'7", 6'8", about 240 pounds, good around the basket, but can also shoot the perimeter.
Burleson gets his first shot attempt, no good. So Wright State a little cold to start things off here in the game's first minute. Morris with a jumper, yes.
Not the start Paul Biancardi wanted. You know, I just talked about the Raiders cannot get themselves down in this game early because the senior leadership of this Green Bay team can really take a game over and manage it.
4-0 lead for the Phoenix. There's an open look for three, knock it down. Zaki Boyd with the jumper.
How many times have we seen that this year from Zaki? Tremendous perimeter shooter. He's so difficult to defend, Jeff, because he can shoot it quickly and he gets such great elevation off the floor. Very difficult to contest.
And DeBrewer on the control, Rhodey up top. Just a minute and a half gone by here in this ball game. A 1-point affair already. Wide open, down underneath the bucket, Benito Flores.
That's a matchup we talked about. Benito Flores, his last half of this season, playing with a tremendous amount of confidence. In the first game up in Green Bay, 30 minutes, he only scored 3 points. Really didn't hurt the Raiders.
Burleson tries to put back off his own miss, no good, and he'll go to the line.
Well, Drew Burleson, by the same token, didn't really enjoy a very good game at the Resch Center up in Green Bay early in the year. We'll get a chance to watch the big sophomore on the glass again. So strong, great hands, great leaping ability. Went up, got it, knocked down the first of 2 free throws. As I was mentioning, Drew, Jeff, he really struggled when they played up in Green Bay. 1 point, 3 turnovers. Really didn't have a very good basketball game. And after the game, he knew it. I'm sure there's a lot of anticipation for this game and wants some payback.
Good sag back by Wright State on defense. Rebound put back by Lawrence. Nice use of the glass from the young man out of Ashton, Illinois.
That's going to be a tough matchup right there. Everett Spencer with responsibility to block out Josh Lawrence. And physically, looks like a mismatch.
Spencer plays Williams. They've been playing to him on that low left there, but he's not gotten any opportunities as of yet. Out of bounds. Spencer, a little too hot with the dribble, and it's turned over unforced to Green Bay.
Jerron Taylor going to check into the basketball game for Everett Spencer. I'm sure Paul Biancardi just going to say, let the game come to you. Don't try to force things. With the good man-to-man pressure defense that Green Bay plays, they'll give you enough rope to hang yourself. And right there, Everett found the noose securely around his neck.
Morris penetrates the kick back out to Rhodey, and now they'll play big. Down on the block. Flores once more with the bucket.
Goal by Benito Flores.
Well, Drew Burleson hasn't stopped him yet on a couple attempts.
No, the Raiders haven't stopped anybody. Green Bay 5 out of 6 for a cool 83% here in the first about 3 minutes of this basketball game.
Taylor got his first touch. Again, back to Taylor for 3. He knocks it down.
Boy, that young man, Jeff, has really stepped up late in this season. He comes in, he's under control, he's prepared when he gets on the floor, coming in off the bench. Big 3-point shot right there to draw the Raiders within 2.
Lawrence with another move to the bucket. No good, and Burleson the board. Wood, oh, a nice step around. Put back is no good. Williams the put back, the follow in the tie.
That's how you beat Green Bay. You get on the glass and you just beat them up. You beat them up on the glass. You create second chances for yourself. The Raiders right there actually created 2 second chances.
Rhodey from long range answers.
And that's how Green Bay beats you. They work the ball. They find the open man. And when Matt Rhodey and Mendeburu shoot it from the perimeter, more often than not, you're going to inbound it.
Nice jab step there by Taylor, trying to create, draws the double team. And look at the second chance points here. Raiders with the initial lead. Here's the bucket by Williams.
That's a big shot. Zach got pushed back behind the backboard. Went to the right hand. Nice shot off the baseline.
Flores now working on Zach Williams. Nice pull up, in and out with the board for Wright State.
That's a physical matchup right there. Zach Williams, Benito Flores. There's going to be some banging going on here this afternoon.
Absolutely. Sophomore out of Detroit, Michigan, Deshaun Wood plays to Jerron Taylor. Boyd has the rock. Some nice motion up top here by Wright State. Nice screen set by Zach Williams. And now the baseline jumper, good for 2 more here for Zach Burleson.
Great possession. Both these teams, Jeff, so far in this game, offensively, very, very efficient with the basketball.
They keep it up high with Rhodey. Hey, Paul! Have been tied so far in this one. First Wright State lead at 14-13. Rhodey on the penetration. We've got a foul coming. They're going to point at Zach Williams.
Foul is on number 22, Zach.
Zach picks up his first personal.
Team's first official.
And we have a timeout on the floor. And we'll keep things right here with 14:28 left to play here in half number 1. 14-13 in favor of Wright State. Well, initially the scoring burst by Wisconsin Green Bay, but a good job so far by the Raiders to answer with their own measure.
Well, they've done a nice job of staying on top of their game, letting the game come to them, and being patient offensively.
Wright State shooting 5 of 10 from the floor so far at 50%, 6 of 9, a very hard start for Wisconsin Green Bay. Phoenix, 67%.
Well, they've not turned the basketball over yet. Wright State's turned it over once. Both teams taking great care of the basketball.
She is still the holder of numerous Raider records, Julie Keir-Baumer.
We see inductions here for the Raiders into the Hall of Fame. First person you saw, Lori Collins, who played here from 1991 to 95. His team's, women's team's leading all-time rebounder with 897 rebounds. Julie Keir-Baumer ran for the Raiders in the mid-80s, holds the Wright State records for 3,000 and 5,000-meter runs. You also see Gary Lowe, an All-American here from 76 to 78, finishing third in the 5,000-meter run of the Division II Nationals in 1977.
2 All-American awards in swimming, the most ever by
Vicki Mercer-Hines, the fourth person you saw there, 3-sport athlete from 74 to 78. Competed in volleyball, basketball, and in basketball. And Val Staley-Lewis competed from 80 to 84, earning 22 All-American honors, the most by any Wright State female athlete in swimming. And then, posthumously here, Carl Benner, who sat here for such a long time as the official scorer here at Wright State, he is being honored. Janelle, his wife, his widow, is out there in his place to take the honors there. There is your Hall of Fame class of 2005 for Wright State. And we give them applause here.
Very, very deserving class right there. Some household names in Wright State athletics, and brings a chill to your spine.
We look here at the last class here, and look at that name as we focus in.
Who is that guy?
Who is that guy? Who is
Well, I
that
tell you,
guy?
you know what's so amazing is you look at that list of people who've been associated with Wright State basketball. There's some pretty good names up there, you know, and the list keeps getting longer. Makes it very, very proud of this program.
But, you know, Mark, and it's not to say that you were on the ground floor going up, but you were in the early stages of what has become a nice program here at Wright State.
Yeah, you know, we take a lot of pride in, you know, the hard times that we had and the work that we put forth, and, you know, the coaching staffs that come in after us, and, you know, the Ed Schilling years and now the Dean Carter years, and it just keeps growing. The great young men that have come into this program make you very, very proud.
Brody with a couple makes at the line. The Phoenix retake the lead at 15-14.
Green Bay still man-to-man. Get used to it. They don't change it very often.
Jordan Pleiman into this contest, wearing the number 50, has it right now. Nice bump and shoot.
Well, when they played at the Rush Center up in Green Bay earlier in the season, that was a coming-out party for Jordan Pleiman. So I think he's going to come out here this afternoon, Jeff, play with a lot of confidence.
13:54 left to play here in this first half. 1-point Raider lead.
Raiders staying man as well. And that's the guy down there on the block, Javier Mendiburu. You got to limit his assists. Averages 7, 6th in the country.
We saw Flores with that bucket here. He plays down low on the bucket. He can step out from 12 to 15 feet away. He has been hot down the stretch.
He's a tough matchup because he's big, he's strong, he's about 6'5", 220, can post up most guards on the block. Deshaun Wood taking it to the corner for the 3.
And right now, Wright State stays perfect from behind the three-point arc, 3 for 3. That's been the difference. Here's a 3 on the other end, no good. The tap out stays up front, last touch by Jerron Taylor.
Boy, if the Raiders get that rebound, Green Bay really lets them off the hook. Quick shot for Benito Flores that time.
Toss in. And boy, Wisconsin Green Bay had a prime opportunity they can't complete. A 3-on-3 break. Wood with another trifecta.
2 for 2.
So Deshaun Wood with a pair of makes from behind the arc, finding that far baseline to his liking with 6 points.
Well, Jerron Taylor creates that. He's great in transition. He's strong with the basketball. He's got good enough size. He can find open men in the corner, and he's found Deshaun twice. And Mendaburu is saying, forget about those threes. How about this one?
Senior out of Badalona, Spain, makes it 22-20. It has become a long-range shooting contest here for both teams so far.
Well, Green Bay likes to shoot it coming into this game this afternoon. 17 attempts, 17 three-point attempts per game. Wright State only 12.
Wood beats it short on the double down. Mendaburu comes down with it. Oh, and they got away with the travel, it looks like.
3 guys right there. Every one of them looked like they wanted to pass to somebody else.
Tyler Koenig, by the way, into this ballgame. The man handling the ball right now is Ryan Evanachko.
If you remember that name, he's the guy that hit the falling away jump shot with half a second left in overtime up in Green Bay to win the game earlier this year.
By the way, nice on-the-ball defense by Wright State with 8 on the shot, and looks like we have contact off the ball.
Tyler Koenig and Zach Williams, I think, go knee to knee, and Tyler Koenig taking him back over there on the end line. Hopefully he's okay and can return.
We have a timeout here on the floor. 11:54 remaining here in half number 1. Wright State 22, the Phoenix of Wisconsin Green Bay 20. Back with more on Time Warner Sports after this short timeout. Two-point affair here at the Nutter Center to wrap up the regular season here along with Mark Vest. I'm Geoff Kim. Want to make mention that at halftime we'll be joined by the Horizon League Commissioner, John LeCrone. He will grace us with his presence and talk about what's going on, not just with Wright State, but with the entire league. Here's Wood with one of the threes.
Well, right there, I think you'll see one of the things John LeCrone's going to talk about. Tremendous talent in this league, basketball-wise, as well as with all the interscholastic sports. This league has really, really grown. It's gained a lot of respect nationally. He's done a great job of leading this conference.
Here's Wood, will handle the rock. Jordan Pleiman running alongside. Two-point affair here at the Nutter Center. Boyd with the ball. As we look at the shooting numbers, both teams very hot on the outset. Pleiman low on the right, double down, puts it up, in and out. Burleson the putback, no good. Puts it back and one. Bucket and one for the new force down on the block, Drew Burleson.
Well, Jordan Pleiman doing a great job keeping his center of gravity low, being able to take the contact down there, gets a nice shot in the lane. And boy, Drew Burleson, you can tell he's got in the back of his mind the subpar game. I wouldn't say subpar effort, but subpar game he had earlier in the season up at Green Bay. It's payback time for Drew.
First personal on Josh Lawrence. 7 points now in the book for Drew Burleson. 25-20, Wright State by 5. Brody has it against a 2-3 Wright State zone.
The Raiders will look to change defenses, keep Green Bay a little off balance. And Zaki Boyd drawing a personal foul, trying to fight through a screen, gets called for the hold.
Trying to fight around Tiva Morris, who's a big load down there on the block. 6'9", 250 pounds, just a freshman. So he's still got weight to gain. So if you're a Phoenix fan, that is some good news there.
Well, they've always had big, strong people. Evan Oshko, bingo, top of the key. Green Bay really shooting the ball well. And they've always had good shooters, but they've always been excellent at finding the open player. You know, it always looks like the guy that gets the shot is wide open. They do such a great job of playing off of one another.
Here's Pleiman with a bucket attempt, and we've got a foul. Well, you know, what we're seeing right now by Wright State is great basketball in the sense of a strategy standpoint. Feed it down low, see if you can create on your own. If not, dish it back out.
Well, you've got to play inside out in basketball. If you play outside in, you will not win. I mean, it's, you know, you can chalk it up as a rhyme or whatever. You've got to play from the inside out. It's just like any sport. You got to take care of the field or the middle of the court. The Raiders doing a nice job.
Jordan Pleiman at the firing line. Freshman out of Fort Loramie.
Drew Burleson taking a well-deserved rest early in this game. Zach Williams checking back in.
Pleiman coming in as a 60% shooter. He got his first. Trying to make it a 4-point lead for Wright State, and he does. You know, that's some fine English off that flip of the rim.
Well, you know, when Jordan Pleiman first signed to come to Wright State, you know, I think everybody thought, well, you know, when he gets to be sophomore, junior, he's going to be a pretty good player. This kid stepped up, and he's played some quality minutes for Paul Biancardi early in this season.
Morris on the miss. Wright State on the run. Wood pushing up the floor. 3 attempt for Boyd. He knocks it down. That is some nice creation in transition.
Well, and again, Brandon Morris contesting that shot deep in the corner, but Zaki at about 6'4", 6'5", and the vertical ability to get up off the floor with that jump shot can't be contested by a smaller player.
Boyd out, Everett Spencer back in. Paul Biancardi freely substituting here in this first half. It's worked to his advantage. A Wright State 7-point lead halfway through first half. Lawrence wide open from behind the arc. Boy, I'll tell you what, both teams just filling it up from long range.
You can't allow another team's big guy to step out and take that shot. I mean, you've at least got to get out there and contest it. These guys have proven over time that they can knock down the 3. Everybody feeling the confidence.
We have seen a total of 9 trifectas here so far in this first half. At the 9:34 mark. Williams leaves the ball for Boyd. Nice step around, takes it baseline. Lost it, and it's turned over.
Deshaun that time got airborne with nowhere to go with the basketball.
Brody, he's open for 3. He knocks it down. Are you kidding me? 10 makes from behind the arc between the two teams so far.
Apparently we're going to let the contact go. I mean, you know, it's going to be a physical game. We knew it coming in, so you just got to play that way.
Taylor with the jab step, Pleiman with the screen, now a double screen, and now the give back to Williams. 12 on the shot clock. Great on the ball defense here. Rhodey defending Wood. The dump off to Williams. Turnaround. No good. It's against Wright State.
They're going to get Jordan Pleiman coming over the back. Tough call. Tough call right there, but you gotta like the hustle play. Getting on the offensive glass, that's one thing. Coach very rarely is going to get on somebody for attempting to create something on the offensive glass.
Brandon Morris into this ballgame for the first time, or I believe actually he was in the starting lineup, so actually he's back into the contest for Wisconsin Green Bay, as well as Benito Flores. This one's going to be on the ball. Actually, it's off the ball.
Yeah,
I don't know where that came from.
They caught Drew. He was just trying to fight over the top of Benito Flores. Flores had pretty good position down on a block. Drew trying to fight around him. Raiders go back to matchup zone.
Wisconsin Green Bay electing to stay outside the three-point arc. Mendaburu, nice spin to the free throw line. Evan Notchko, the catch and release. Tap, and we've got a foul. Lawrence over the back of Zach Williams.
Great box out by Zach that time. Using the body, box out first, then go get the basketball. Josh Lawrence, a little too physical coming over the back.
2 on Lawrence, 5 now on a team for Wisconsin Green Bay. 1-point advantage for Wright State. Looking at second chance opportunities, the Raiders have that advantage, and that's why they have the 1-point lead.
That's exactly right. That's how you beat this team. You've got to create extra possessions for yourself.
Charge against Wright State.
Going to call an illegal screen. Maybe the new John Chaney rule.
Oh, more on that as we head to the timeout. The under 8 right here. 7:54 left to play here in half number 1. Wright State 30, Wisconsin Green Bay 29. We're back with more in just a moment. .54 left to play here in this first half. Wright State by 1 here in this contest. As we head to the replay here, we'll take a look at this attack on the basket for the Phoenix.
Good no-look pass that time. Ryan Evanashko with the penetration. Raiders doing a good job attacking the glass, and off they go. Been very productive in transition throughout this game. Deshaun Wood kicking to Zach Boyd. 1 of 5 threes for the Raiders. Perfect, 5 of 5 from behind the arc.
You got to love that catch and release. Anytime that, if you're a shooter and you have your feet set up and you know you're getting the ball, that's just got to make it easy. It's like stepping to the free throw line and taking a shot.
Well, Zach Boyd is one of those guys. If you want to stop him, you've got to limit his touches. If he catches it and he can square his feet, the way he elevates, he's very difficult to contest.
Tyler Koenig into this ball game for Wisconsin Green Bay. Mendaburu low on the right, and a blocking call against Wright State. That's a tough call. Zaki Boyd.
Yeah, that's a situation there. I mean, I think I just asked the official, where do you expect me to go? I mean, he really didn't even move. Here you'll see it. He steps directly back. Where's he supposed to go? That's a tough call right there. I mean, you know, you almost wonder if he wants him to step out of the way and let Mendaburu take it to the backboard.
Wisconsin Green Bay will shoot the bonus from here on out after the next foul. Brandon Morris getting a touch. Catch and release, 3 on the way. Another knockdown, this time by Mendaburu.
I'll tell you, he is just a silent assassin. Doesn't show a whole lot of emotion, but he dishes the ball. He finds the open man. He works with his teammates, and when he has to, he can knock down that big 3.
Lead change in the ball game. Wright State down by 2. Williams backing in and with foul. Williams doing a good job trying to get position down on the block. Josh Lawrence can't handle him down there.
Well, Zach is so tough. You know, from the waist down, he is so explosive in those legs. Boy, when he squats down and gets you on that block, he makes it very, very difficult to defend him. Gets to the free throw line. Raiders down 2.
Javier Mendaburu, beg your pardon, on the help. Picks up the personal on that one. Williams to the firing line. Zach is a 56% shooter at the line as he backs into Koenig. And
Mendaburu coming over trying to help out, slapping down on the ball. Second personal foul. Boy, it couldn't happen to a better guy. If there's anybody on this team that you want out of the game, it's Mendaburu.
The repost. Williams, the kick out. Here's a long-range jumper from Burleson. Wright State retakes the lead thanks to the missed shot, then the rebound, and the second chance points.
Well, those are the little things that Zach Williams brings to this team. Always playing with his head up, great court awareness. Finds Drew Burleson open on the opposite baseline. Raiders up 1.
Evan Ochko fills the lane, pulls it up, no good. Wood, his opposite number, gets the rebound.
Boy, too bad he couldn't have shot like that up in Green Bay.
Wood will reset the offense. Plenty of time with 24 on the shot. Evan Ochko now plays Taylor, and now to Boyd. Beg your pardon, Spencer. Spencer elects not to take. Here's Burleson with the jumper from 15, no good.
Green Bay looking to push the ball in transition.
Lane violation against Wisconsin Green Bay.
Raiders substitute, number 50, Jordan Pleiman.
If I'm Todd Kowalczyk, I'm wondering, do we even have time for 3 seconds? I mean, that's a quick whistle.
Somehow I kind of get the feeling that that was a little payback for what happened down on that end a little bit ago. Wood driving baseline, gives back, throws it, he jams it through.
Deshaun again. Maybe that's something they've noticed in the scouting report in the game plan. Get penetration baseline, draw the defense, and then kick it. Drew Burleson with a big finish.
Morris elects not to take 3. Plenty of time on the shot clock and a foul. Hand check that led into a little bit more for Everett Spencer as he tried to defend Javier Mendaburu, and Spencer picks up his first.
You know, Everett's giving it the old, I never committed a foul. There's never been a player to commit a foul. But, you know, he took a little slug there after the basketball, but we'll get to see something a little more pleasing to Wright State fans. Deshaun baseline, head up, finds Burleson for the flush.
Well, that was one time where Deshaun Wood getting into the air on that baseline was a good thing because he drew the two defenders to him.
And he's done that a couple of times previously in this game and got himself in trouble. But Drew Burleson that time doing a great job of finding some space and getting open.
Mendeburu, by the way, is a 75% shooter at the line. You saw him hit the first. Now he's going to try and cut it to one. He does.
Javier Mendeburu, just a solid basketball player. Handles it well. He's got good size, shoots it well.
Wisconsin Green Bay came into this ballgame with 5 players averaging double figures. That's strong. I mean, you can't get much more balance than that. Pleiman with the bucket attempt, no good. Wright State with another chance. Boyd with a jumper off the baseline, and no good.
Zaki got to take a little more time. We can get a better shot than that.
Nice transition, the finish by Benito Flores.
Mendeburu now with 3 assists. One of the things coming into this game I thought we really had to watch out for. You can't let him continually find the open man in transition because he will deliver the ball, get easy shots.
Burleson on the spot-up jumper. Wright State retakes the lead, 37-36. Mark, both teams have just been absolutely stellar from the floor.
This is just a great offensive college basketball game. Green Bay 62%, the Raiders 52%. Both teams shooting it very well.
Mendeburu handles for Morris. 15 on the shot, 4 minutes to play here in this first half. A Wright State 1-point lead. 8 on the shot clock. Mendeburu is going to have to hurry. Fills the lane, throws up the runner, no good. Tapped once, out of bounds. Will it stay up front?
Raiders basketball.
Raiders will take it over, and we're at the under 4 timeout. 3:46 left to play here in this first half. Wright State 37, Wisconsin Green Bay 36. More when we return on Time Warner Sports. (37-36) in favor of Wright State. And folks, a reminder to stick around at halftime. We'll have a nice presentation, about a 2.5-minute video presentation of the season in review for Wright State. We'll also chat with John LaCrone, the Horizon League commissioner. That's coming up at the half here on Time Warner Sports. 1-point Wright State lead. They're shooting 52% from the floor. Wisconsin Green Bay 59% from the floor. And it's really shown by the 1-point score here in this contest.
Yeah, both teams very efficient on the offensive end of the floor. And there you see one of the reasons in the center of your screen, Deshaun Wood, very strong with the basketball, getting the ball into transition, finding the open man. And Raiders with only 3 turnovers in the game, and Wisconsin Green Bay with only 2. So both teams taking care of it very well and shooting it well. There you see the team leaders from a scoring standpoint early in this game, and that was the matchup we talked about. Drew Burleson, Benito Flores. So far, the Raiders on the winning end of that match.
Wood will handle the rock as we come back. Wood rolling off the high screen, nowhere to go. Taylor's quick toss to Burleson on the baseline. He didn't find what he liked either. And now Wisconsin Green Bay closing out a little bit better here than they have earlier in this half. Wood with 8 on the shot clock. The kick out to Burleson, and another jumper, this time it's short.
And again, Green Bay looking to push the ball a little bit and transition themselves.
Flores thought about popping the 3. Well, elect to run some clock here with about 3 minutes left to go here in this first half. Still the 1-point advantage for Wright State, 37-36. Brody, nice screen set for him, and we turn it over.
Going to get the illegal screen this time. The whistled on the Green Bay Phoenix.
The number 4,
Tyler Koenig picks up the personal. That's his first. By the way, something that you alluded to before we hit the under 4 timeout, the John Chaney rule. Boy, you know, given the events of the last week, you would think that we'd see tighter officiating just from a contact standpoint.
Well, and I think we will. I mean, I think it would be foolish on our part to think that nothing's going to change. But in that game between Temple and St. Joe's, I thought that the problem was not necessarily so much, not that there wasn't a problem with the incidents at the end of the game, but the amount of physical play that was allowed to go on.
Taylor with a nice spin dribble. We'll continue that thought. Here's Wood trying to create again. No good.
Great rebound. Jordan Pleiman.
And one. You know, and this is where Wright State has done a good job this afternoon. Decided that they're going to attack the bucket. And even if they're going to get in the way, we're still going to attack the bucket.
Well, I'm sure Todd Kowalczyk over on the Green Bay bench saying, we've got to watch this kid for 4 years. Speaking of Jordan Pleiman, getting on the backboard. Deshaun Wood gets it up on the rim. Jordan Pleiman doing the rest. You see all the traffic that he's in. Tremendous, tremendous job on the blocks there by the freshman from Fort Larman.
6 points on the afternoon coming off the bench.
Getting back to the little discussion we were having about the John Chaney rules that's been coined, I guess, by me. You know, there were a lot of what I felt were a lot of questionable screens in that game, and it seems like in college basketball, referees have allowed that to happen. And I think that's where some of the physical nature of the play that maybe sent John Chaney over the edge in that game started. A lot of screens allowing a lot of physical play to happen. And, you know, it's one thing to set a screen, but you've got to allow a defender to get around it somehow.
Wright State up by 4, 2 to play here in this first half. Mendaburu has the ball. Mark gets a nice screen, this time a standing screen by Flores. Brody cannot catch and release, and Wright State doing a good job closing out. Morris creates and scores.
That's what Brandon Morris brings to this team. You know, in recent years, you think about Green Bay, you think of methodical, real prodding deep offenses where they set screens and just rattle the fillings in your teeth. But Brandon Morris brings some athleticism to this team.
How about that? Another fine move by Drew Burleson to give him 15.
Boy, Drew having a tremendous half.
Flores will pop from outside. Get it! Well, we can hear it rattle from here, and we've got a foul. Looks like Burleson's going to be over top of the back of Tyler Koenig.
Well, it's a good thing we don't have 4 officials. I mean, some of these calls, I mean, you're going to have contact.
Substitution number 1,
When somebody shoots a shot like that, you got one guy in the arc, you know, do the math. You're going to have a lot of bodies under the basket. Throughout this game, there's been contact. Makes it very difficult as a player.
No good.
Koenig misses the first.
And the one-arm rebound to Drew Burleson. Well, we didn't see the full replay. We didn't see the full picture, but Burleson, if there was any contact, it was pretty minimal.
Yeah, it makes it tough as a player. You know, you go one end, you get a physical call. You go the other end, there's physical play, nothing called. So the player's going to have to be on the top of their games and just play.
1 minute left to play, first half. Wood. Oh, and he turns it over. He was looking for Pleiman. Brody traveled, but got away with it. I'd like to know what the officials are paying attention to. Now we got a timeout. We'll keep things right here. Wisconsin Green Bay calling for the TO with 42.8 seconds left to play here in this first half. We'll keep it right here. It's a 4-point lead for Wright State, 42-38. Well, you know, we've seen, far be it for us to really knock on officials for the job they do, but it's been a bad week for them just in general, and why stop here?
Yeah, it's a thankless job. You know, I mean, for all the big money that those guys make, but, you know, you get a crowd, you get a hostile crowd, you get a physical game, and, you know, they almost can't make the correct call. But we'll get a chance to see it again. It's been physical the entire game, and I think it's going to stay that way. Here you see Rhodey. Little jump step, a little something extra. I think they maybe didn't call the travel because he didn't really advance the ball and didn't really get too much of an advantage out of it. But I'm not a big fan of traveling being a judgment call. I mean, if you walk, you walk. But he's solid with the basketball. I think after a while, veteran players, they earn some of that. And I think the referees, they've seen him enough in his years at Green Bay. They realize he's strong with the ball. They'll give him the benefit.
Lawrence with a step around, and they play with 9 on the shot clock. Morris will pin it. Pop. No good. Pleiman the rebound and a foul. No, a timeout. Timeout.
Coach Biancardi going to get a quick timeout. We got 1 possession. 22.6. He's getting his 2 offensive rebounders, Drew Burleson and Zach Williams. back into the basketball game, thinking if they can get some penetration, get it up on the glass. These two guys have been very dangerous in this first half, creating extra points and second chance points on the offensive glass.
Wright State has, well, they've had the advantage. They haven't owned the paint, but they've had the advantage in the paint. 12-8 points in the paint so far here in this first half. And turnovers have been kept down to a minimal. We've seen a very excellent game so far, Mark.
Yeah, both teams, Wright State with 4 turnovers and Wisconsin Green Bay with only 3. Done a great job of taking care of the basketball. They're getting good looks at the basket, and they're knocking them down. Both teams shooting very well. Wright State 50%, Wisconsin Green Bay 56. But as the game stands right now, here's the only possession that really matters.
Wood with the isolation up top. Gives back. Pleiman is open. 5 on the game clock. Burleson baseline jumper, left it short. Flores the rebound.
Don't want to foul here.
Now we'll throw it up at half court, and off the top of the glass, and this first half has come to a close. Your score at intermission: Wright State 42, Wisconsin Green Bay 38. Coming up here at the half, we'll have a nice presentation, a year in review for Wright State, and we'll also be joined by Horizon League Commissioner John LeCrone. It's all when we come back with our halftime show here on Time Warner Sports. We're courtside here at the intermission, 42-38 in favor of Wright State. We are joined by Horizon League Commissioner John LeCrone. John, it's always a pleasure to see you. Good to see you.
Well, it's nice to be here in Raiderland. I thought the first half was a pretty darn good half of basketball.
Absolutely. You know, if you're a long-range shooter, you have to appreciate the first half.
Well, like we were saying during the break, I think what this game again shows is kind of the balance in our league. I mean, Green Bay and Wright State, I think, are really very good basketball teams, and I think as we head into the tournament, it should there should be some real interesting matchups. So certainly we're looking forward to that next week.
Absolutely. And as we head into the tournament, John, both impressive stands here right now. Well, let's first of all talk about the ladies, because they don't get enough press as far as I'm concerned. Wright State has seen something of a renaissance here, 17-10. They are a 3rd seed going to the tournament. It's nice to see not just the favorite teams from the Cheese State doing well, but a team like Wright State, who we've not had really significant time winning as of late. Now they're doing something.
I'm really glad you brought that up. You know, I think still the championship runs through Green Bay, but you know, here at Wright State, I think you've had a really fine year on the women's side, and if you win this next week, we'll be hosting the championship here at the Nutter Center, so we're looking forward to that. So I think Wright State on the women's side could do very well in our tournament.
As far as the game we're watching here, we're watching a 2 seed between Wisconsin Green Bay and a 6 seed at Wright State. Wisconsin Green Bay, a fantastic team, but again, as you had mentioned, an evenly balanced game, and that should speak to the balance of the league. It's a great league, very competitive.
I think that's what's happened this year. I think if one team separated a little bit, it's probably Milwaukee, and they've done an outstanding job. Bruce Pearl continues to impress, I think, everybody nationally with the job he's done in Milwaukee. And then I'll tell you what, when you go from there, maybe other than Youngstown at the 9th spot, there's such compression in the middle of our league. I think what that speaks to is the balance in our league. So I think as you head into the tournament, I'll tell you what, the early round games are going to be very, very competitive, and who knows. I think Milwaukee's still the favorite, but I think anyone, literally anyone, 2 through 8, could get to the championship game and perhaps win.
I want to talk about the tournament format. Of course, the top 3 seeds get a first round bye. It's seen as something very important, because if you think that if you're a lower seed from 4 through 9, you have to play 4 games to try and get that automatic NCAA bid, which really speaks to the volume of, you know, just how important it is to get through a league schedule.
I'll tell you why I like the tournament. I think that the people that perform during the regular season are rewarded. If you finish 1st or 2nd, you get a bye into the semis. That's a big reward. If you finish 3rd, you don't have to play in the opening round game, and then if you finish 4, 5, or 6, you're going to host an opening round game at home. So I think, well, take this year for instance, I mean, every single game during the regular season was of critical importance, and in fact, all the seeds weren't determined until yesterday. So I think it keeps the focus on the regular season, which is very important to us, and secondly, it rewards success over time, and I think that's what we want to have happen in our league.
John, before we go, I just want to speak to how the tournament has changed as far as the Horizon League is concerned. 3 first-round buys as opposed to like maybe initially 1 or 2. But this has been seen as very beneficial across the entire league.
I think it's helped our league for those reasons. It gets our tournament back on home floors. We have very good attendance, and I think we're able to put on a good show for ESPN, our national television partner.
John, as always, good to see you.
Great being here.
And we'll see you over in the tournament.
Looking forward to a nice second half.
John LeCrone, of course, the Horizon League Commissioner, joining us here courtside. When we return, Mark Vest will rejoin me. We'll bring you the second half when we return on Time Warner Sports. Four-point lead here at intermission here at the Nutter Center. The Hall of Famer Mark Vest has rejoined me. Mark, and looking back to half number 1, a very exciting first half, especially from long range.
Well, it really was. Both teams shot the ball extremely well. The Raiders perfect, 5 of 5 from behind the three-point arc. But I think in the first half, second chance points, Raiders win that battle 12-2. That's what gets them the lead.
And as we continue to break down the first half, we look at the team stats right here. Wright State rebounding the ball very well. The shooting advantage right now so far belongs to the Phoenix.
Yeah, they've shot it extremely well. They've gotten good looks at the basket. Historically, that's what they try to do. Good senior leadership, experience on the perimeter. They work the ball around. They get the high percentage shot. Leads them to 56% in that first half, 48 for the Raiders. Raiders win the rebound edge, 18-11. Both teams pretty good at the free throw line. Wisconsin, Green Bay, 80%. The Wright State Raiders, 88. And that last stat there at the end. Both teams really taking good care of the basketball game. I'm sure both these coaches, Todd Kowalczyk, Paul Mincardi, coming in saying, fellas, we simply have to take care of the basketball to have a chance to win. They've both done a great job here so far.
And, of course, 15 first-half points by Drew Burleson. That has been a punctuation point.
Yeah, it really has. Struggled in the first meeting between these two teams, but came out with a lot of passion in the first half of this game. As you mentioned, 15 points, 6 rebounds. He's lit a fire under himself.
Second half action coming up when we return here courtside at the Nutter Center. 4-point lead for the Raiders. Back with more when we return in just a moment. We're just mere moments away from the start of the second half, 42-38 in favor of Wright State. As we had mentioned right before going to the last timeout, Drew Burleson has 15 points. Mark, the one thing I had mentioned throughout our telecast is it's been a quiet 15 points. He's made it look pretty easy.
It really has. They've spread the ball around very, very well. A lot of balance offensively. And, he's the type of player, he'll hit a jump shot off the baseline. He never seems to hit the big shot, but, boy, he had a couple in that first half. The one I remember is the dribble penetration on the baseline. Deshaun Wood goes airborne, looks around. Drew Burleson finds some space, gets the pass, takes it up, dunks the ball. And really got this crowd involved in the game. And he's one guy that, the resurgence from the game that these two teams played earlier in the season to today, two totally different players.
Well, again, if you look back here to the game that was at the start of the year, back on the 3rd of January, it was a 73-71 game in overtime. Green Bay winning that one up at their own home court. In that game, the Phoenix handled the ball very well, only committing 11 turnovers. They've done a very nice job so far in this first half, only 3 turnovers.
Well, they hit some big shots in that game up in Green Bay, and the Raiders have done a great job of recognizing where their shooters are on the floor. There you see Deshaun Wood drawing the assignment of Matt Rohde. Tremendous perimeter shooter, but you've always got to contest, and you can't give too much space. And Drew Burleson with the steal. Benito Flores, a little lackadaisical in his handling of the basketball, and Drew takes advantage of it.
Wood has the ball between the circles. Wright State gets their first crack here in the second half. They still have that 4-point lead. Coming back for it.
Green Bay goes matchup zone. Just a little bit of a wrinkle. Coaches in this day and age, anything they can do. Good-looking release and shot by Zaki, but the result not what you want.
That's the first miss from behind the arc this afternoon for Wright State. No missing here on this bucket for Matt Rohde.
Well, there's the Matt Rohde that scares you to death. Spotting up in the corner, tremendous shooter, gathers himself, shows a lot of senior leadership. When the shot's open, if it's a good shot, you take it. And he knocked down the big three to draw the Phoenix within one.
37% shooter from behind the arc, 42-41. Spencer has it up top. Burleson now. They stay out on the perimeter. Now the feed in, the double down on Williams, the turnaround, no good. It's going to stay up front.
Tough day rebounding the basketball in there. Both these teams throwing the house at the backboard, a lot of traffic. And Mendaburu almost came up with it right there, but tipped out of his hands. Raiders inbound under their basket.
Spencer out, and we see Jerron Taylor come in, the first substitution of the second half. And here's a takeaway. Bad entry pass there by Taylor.
Tough mistake right there. And another mistake. Leaves the basketball with one Javier Mendaburu out on the arc.
Miss on the three on the other end by Boyd.
Boy, is this the same two teams that went into the locker room?
Frankly, I'm not sure. Williams trying to defend. Benito Flores can't do it, and the Phoenix have retaken the lead at 43-42.
Brandon Morris with a terrific entry pass. Diagonal down onto the block. Benito Flores finished it, but that's one of those passes that it'd be tough to screw that one up.
Taylor up top. Jerron with 3 points in the first half. Williams at the free throw line, pumps the 15-footer, no good, and Wright State is awfully cold. He gets it back, he puts it up, goes glass, and Wright State retakes the lead at 44-43.
You know, we're playing at a high level, NCAA college basketball, but that's basic basketball right there. Zach Williams took the shot, missed it, followed his shot, got it back, scored it.
Williams with 7. Here's Lawrence, cannot answer with the float shot. Drew Burleson with the 7th rebound. He has been very impressive here. And now Wood to the rack, missed the shot. Lawrence rebounds.
Boy, Josh Lawrence that time, he seemingly boxed out the whole team. Big wide body down on the block. Great job of rebounding.
Well, he is a load at 6'7" and 230. 3 by Lawrence, speaking of. And he knocks it down. Phoenix retake the lead, 46-44.
You know, you always talk about the first 5 minutes of each half being very important. Probably the more important the second half. And Green Bay has really come out, played with a lot of intensity and a lot of confidence.
Williams is open and one. Bucket and one for the senior, the lone senior. Zach Williams, foul on Lawrence.
Josh Lawrence that time patting himself on the chest saying, my fault. He took a chance and tried to jump around on the pass a step late, and then he realizes, I left my buddy hanging. He comes over. Benito Flores comes over trying to help. Tough defensive task. You get Zach Williams with the basketball coming at the backboard. That's a tough order.
Beg your pardon, Lawrence not with the foul. Brandon Morris with the foul on the follow. No good, and it's going to still belong to the visiting Phoenix of Wisconsin Green Bay.
I think they're going to get Jordan Pleiman, I think, for a little bit of a shove.
Jordan picks up his second, and that's the first team foul this half, coming at 16:34 remaining here in this ball game.
Well, the thing about these guys, I mean, Josh Lawrence and Tyler Koenig, the big wide bodies they bring off the bench, they're even tough to push. You know, I mean, you get down there, you got to shove these guys pretty hard. You're going to get a travel.
Lawrence picked up the dribble, trying to work in on Pleiman.
Boy, Josh Lawrence really looking to create offensively here in the second half. Off the dribble from behind the arc.
I didn't think you big guys were supposed to get that cute with the ball.
Well, I tell you, he looked pretty good right there. I mean, for a big 6'7", 6'8" power forward, putting it on the floor pretty nicely.
Pleiman with the touch. Taylor gets it back. Looking for another post entry. Give to Williams. Low on the left, puts it up, off the glass and in. Williams trying to take over here in half number 2.
Well, he took over Benito Flores that time, and Benito taking stock of himself, running down the floor. I think Zach gave him a little bit of a shot. Big, strong offensive move down there. Benito, boy.
That is a pretty move.
Yeah, comes back and he answers. I think he's got a problem with an eye or something's going on. He's asking Todd Kowalczyk, head coach of Green Bay, to get him a break.
Burleson, nowhere to go. Williams backs in on Flores, goes back door, Pleiman can't handle. And we have a timeout on the floor, the under 16. We are tied up at 48 here at the Nutter Center between Wright State and Wisconsin Green Bay. Back with more on Time Warner Sports when we return in just a moment. Even Steven here at the Nutter Center, Wright State and Wisconsin Green Bay at 48 apiece. Second chance points, well, that's what's keeping the Raiders in the ball game so far.
Well, you know, it's just hustle. It's hustle. Zach Williams taking the shot from the free throw line, misses it, follows it, gets a shot back, scores it. Drew Burleson, there you see him in the screen, missed her second chance in this game. It's really played with a lot of intensity and passion. That's how you win basketball games. You go and get the ball. You don't worry about the ball coming to you. The Raiders have done a very nice job keeping themselves in the game with this very, very tough Wisconsin Green Bay team.
The lone senior in this ball game in the first 4+ minutes of the second half, Zach Williams, has been particularly effective down on the block.
Well, he's so strong. And, you know, he's made a couple moves. It looks like he's back on the playgrounds in the Bronx. I mean, they're just putting the ball in his hands, and it's mano-a-mano down in the paint. Not many players better at finishing down on that block than Zach Williams.
Wow.
Maybe Josh Lawrence. Pretty kiss off the glass right there.
I mean, we've seen a lot of Windex so far here in this second half. 50-48, a 2-point lead for Wisconsin Green Bay. Taylor with the rock. Good defense here by the Phoenix. Deshaun Wood creates baseline, gives the cutting Pleiman, nice post entry.
Great job without the basketball. The easiest player on the floor to guard is a guy that is not active. And the Raiders doing a great job of all 5 players being active.
Back tap belongs to Evanachko. Ryan dumps off the ball. Lawrence with the double down. Evanachko gets it back. They'll reset the offense.
Jerron Taylor that time. You saw when the ball went down in a block to Josh Lawrence. Jerron Taylor dropping down off of his responsibility to help out. That time it worked. Lawrence kicked it back out.
Drive by Evanachko. Fade away, no good. Pleiman gets the board.
Boy, Evanachko really struggling from the field. 1 of 4 in this game.
Tied at 50 here in this ball game. 13 and change left here in this contest. Wright State trying to improve to 14-14 on the season. Get back to that 500 mark. High post Williams. Pleiman fouled on the way up. Then the Mendaburu looked like he got him over from behind. That's who they're going to call it on.
That's going to be 3 on Mendaburu. You know, if you're a Raider fan, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. The more time he spends over on those padded seats with a towel over his shoulder sitting comfortably, the better, because he's a guy that can just take over a game.
Fouls have not been an issue as of yet here in this contest. Pleiman breaks the tie.
Jordan Pleiman, as we mentioned earlier in the game, breakout game between these two teams earlier in the season up in Green Bay. Jordan coming in off the bench, 10 points, 9 rebounds, nearly a double-double for the freshman center for Wright State. You could just see the way that his confidence has evolved throughout his freshman season. He's a key boy going to check in. Jordan Pleiman taking a seat where the kid, you know, early in the game, first few games of the season, he really looked overwhelmed with the speed of the game, and that's very customary. There's not a freshman that's ever played this game that didn't have that problem. Boy, he has really developed. Deshaun Wood going to get it for a hold.
Trying to catch up with Matt Rohde. That's his first.
Matt Rohde, another one of those guys, never stand still.
Mendaburu a toss in. Ivanachko up top, hands it back to the trigger man, Mendaburu. 52-50 here at the Nutter Center. Mendaburu has done a nice job handling the rock here in this ball game. Flores. Cross arc to Rohde. Now back the other way. Nice ball movement, by the way, for the Phoenix.
And the Raiders doing a good job of recovering to that ball movement.
Koenig. Beg your pardon, Koenig with the bucket.
Well, that's just great dribble penetration by Mendeburu. Koenig coming off the screen, flash cutting into the middle. If there's an open player, Javier Mendeburu is going to find him. That's his 5th assist on the game.
3rd tie of the second half, knotted up at 52. Wood with plenty on the shot. Taylor gets a touch. Burleson to start the first half, blocking foul on Flores.
Nice job by Drew that time. Catches a pass, squares to the basket, puts it on the floor. Benito Flores trying to chest up with him and stop the penetration, but he gets whistled for the personal.
Jordan Pleiman in for Zaki Boyd. Pleiman didn't get a whole lot of rest there. Wright State trying to get a little bigger, especially down around the block. Baseline jumper and one. Great shot off the entry for Deshaun Wood.
Well, he's another one. The perimeter players for Wright State do such a great job of elevation in their jump shots that they make it tough to contest their shots. And there we see him go baseline, and Rudy coming back, trying to get a hand up in his face, and comes across the arm, and Deshaun just simply too strong. Able to get the shot to go, going for the old-fashioned three-point play.
The numbers on Deshaun. He now has 9 points in the book. 55-52 in favor of Wright State. Under 12.5 to play here in this ball game.
Raiders have really done a good job of rebounding from the big start that Green Bay enjoyed.
Belongs to Wright State. Last touch by Flores as he tried to work around Jerron Taylor. So Boyd, who got a quick break, comes back in, and Drew Burleson checks out. 3-point affair here at the Nutter Center. It's been a good one. Very tight to the vest, so to speak.
Colby and Carty, Jeff, I think really going to keep his troops fresh. We saw a lot of substitutions early in this half. And to play defense against this team, you've got to be fresh. And boy, Jordan Pleiman again on the glass.
No good. Play don't go to the line. And again, they're starting to take over with the physicality down around the block in second chance points, and rebounding has been a difference, and that's why Wright State has the lead. We're at the under 12 break, 11:50 left to play here in this ball game. 55-52, Wright State with a 3-point lead. Back with more in just a moment. Three-point lead here at the Irvin J. Nutter Center, along with the Hall of Famer Mark Vest. I'm Geoff Kim. Pleased to have you along for this one. Back and forth we've gone here in this one. The big men have been the difference. Drew Burleson in the first half, Zach Williams in the second.
Yeah, second chance points is what's fueled this 3-point Raider lead. 14-2 edge for the Raiders in second chance points. Those two gentlemen you mentioned have been a big part of that. Drew Burleson and Zach Williams throughout this game on the offensive glass, creating second chance opportunities. And Jordan Pleiman created one himself. He gets to the free throw line.
Field goal percentage has come down a bit, especially for Wright State, down to about 47.5%, 55.5% here for Wisconsin Green Bay.
Jordan Pleiman at the line shooting 2.
So here's Pleiman to the line. He's a perfect 5 of 5 so far this afternoon. He gets the first here.
You know, we talked second chance points, Jeff. Wright State, so far in this game, 20 out of 42 from the field, 22 missed shots, 12 offensive rebounds. So, you know, they're getting offensive rebounds on 1 out of every 2 misses they have, and that's impressive.
Pleiman checks out of the ballgame. And how about Jordan's play this afternoon? He's been unbelievably efficient. 3 of 5 from the floor, 7 of 7 at the line.
Well, you know, if you watch him, if you were to step into this arena this afternoon and look at Jordan Pleiman, you would say there's no way that kid's a freshman. You know, he's played with tremendous poise.
Nice save by Wood. Long outlet. Here's Boyd. Well, jam it home.
And you score off your defense. Deshaun Wood coming up with the loose ball, as a point guard always will. Immediately gets his head up and looks down the floor. Finds the streaking Zaki Boyd with the thunderous one-hand dunk, just what the doctor ordered.
And that was all started by the nice save by Deshaun Wood. Fight for the rebound, foul.
Drew Burleson going to get called for the clear out. We'll get a chance to make the call from home. Brandon Morris, pretty good looking jump shot from the elbow right there. A lot of contact. We get the foul, so we got to come back, hunker down, circle the wagons, all the little sayings, and just play good defense against this veteran Green Bay team.
Morris trying to create everything but the bucket there, and Zaki the rebound. Wright State has a 7-point lead. This one is out of bounds. Some contact down on the block. Zach Williams initially clapping his hands. Tyler Koenig picks up the personal. Looked like he was trying to hook Williams down on the block.
Mendaburu and Lawrence going to check back in. Brody and Koenig going to take a break for Green Bay.
Jerron Taylor looking, still looking. Boyd draws the double team, lost on the floor. It is out of bounds on the floor.
Raiders substitution, number 3, Everett Spencer.
Jerron Taylor going to check out. Everett Spencer checking back in. And the Raiders struggled that time, trying to inbound the ball underneath their own basket.
Williams lost the handle, will head the other way. Never got the handle low on the left, and an unforced turnover.
Tough situation for Zach Williams to try and come up with a pretty crisply sent bounce pass.
Wright State in the midst of a 7-0 run. Lawrence trying to break that, holding on to the ball. Mendaburu has it now. 20 on the shot. Oh, he got away with a clear out there. And now Evan Notchko leaves the ball again for Mendaburu, who spots up for 3 straight away. Boy, and he knocks it down.
Boy, that's a big-time shot right there. Zaki Boyd, I don't know what else he could have done. I mean, it almost looked like he might have got a piece of Mendaburu's arm. He was that close in contesting the shot.
Halfway through the second half, 59-55, Burleson is open for the jumper. He puts it through. 2 of his own. He has the game-high 17.
Big answer right there for Drew.
Lawrence up top. Mendaburu nearly lost it. Lawrence from long range. This time no good. Spencer the rebound for Wright State. Pushing the ball up the floor. He wants to create. He leaves it for Burleson. He puts it up and through.
Great job, Everett Spencer. Goes coast to coast, delivers the assist. Drew Burleson finishes. Crowd on their feet.
Should just be a 30-second timeout here. Timeout charged to Wisconsin Green Bay. Wright State owns a 63-55 lead. I think we might have a full timeout instead of the 30, so we'll take the timeout here as well. 9:23 left to play in this ball game. 8-point lead for Wright State. Back with more in just a moment. $63-55 here at the Nutters Center, and look at the difference points in the paint have been here for Wright State.
Well, and fueled by the second chance opportunities. Boy, when you can get the ball down into the paint and score on this team, gives you a huge benefit towards beating them. You cannot rely on perimeter shots against this team, because long shots, you take long perimeter shots, you're going to get long rebounds. They're going to take it, come down, and pound you offensively. But boy, when you can get high percentage shots, put it in the paint and score it, as the Raiders have done, 51% from the field for the game.
Mendaburu trying to create. Rhodey saves it on the baseline. Morris back to Rhodey. Shoots off the dribble, no good. Deshaun Wood wants to run. The kick out, the 3. It is off the mark. Rebound, put back, and before that can happen, a foul.
Josh Lawrence, I think they're going to get him for a little contact in the paint. You know, I'm sure the big people for Green Bay, I mean, it's like a jailbreak for them, because they know that every time the ball goes up, Wright State is sending everybody at the glass. And, you know, you're searching for somebody to box out. There's just bodies flying everywhere. And Zach Williams creates an opportunity to go to the free throw line by sheer hustle and getting on the glass. Raiders now up 9.
1 in the bonus the rest of the way here for the Raiders. 17 fouls now on the Phoenix. And that comes with 8:58 remaining here in this ballgame. Zach, very easy with both of them. He has 13 points in the contest. Double-digit lead for the first time here in this ballgame. 65-55, Wright State by 10. Lawrence will spot up 3 straight away. He knocks it down. Big men aren't supposed to do that.
Well, he's a nice player. 15 points, 8 rebounds. The big kid's stepping out away from the basket. You don't see many big people that can do that. I mean, a big wide body's got good size.
Williams draws the double down, goes back to Pleiman underneath the bucket. Initially no foul call, a little bit of a late whistle, and now Pleiman will head to the line. Foul's going to be on Benito Flores.
Green Bay now with 3 players with 3 fouls. Benito Flores, Mendaburu, as well as Josh Lawrence. And we'll get a chance to see the melee again. There's the Zach Williams that's made this team so dangerous. Looking good interior passer. Jordan Pleiman working without the basketball. Tough miss right there for the big freshman.
That's his first miss of the afternoon. He's had a fine afternoon coming off the bench. 13 points to go along with 4 rebounds. The next one is up and through. Boy, I tell you, he really enjoys that lip of the rim.
Yeah, he does. 8 of 9 from the free throw line. That's tremendous for your big people. If they can get fouled as much as he does, as active as he is, to get to the free throw line and be that successful.
Meanwhile, holding call on the other end. Zaki Boyd picks up his second.
Boyd is third, the team's 4th.
Put up the 3 on him there instead of the 2. Brody with the rock. Just over 8 to play here in this ball game. 66-58, Wright State by an 8-point margin.
Raiders going to have to maintain their poise here. You know, you're getting down around the 8-minute mark. You find yourself with an 8-point lead, but Green Bay's been here before.
Lawrence can't hit the long range this time.
Sean Wood.
Wood pushing it up. He has a 5-on-4 advantage. Boyd, and we've got some contact on its way to the hoop.
Josh Lawrence, I believe. He's got good quickness for a big man, but not enough quickness to stick with Zaki Boyd off the dribble.
That is his 4th. We are at the under 8 timeout. 7:49 remaining here in this ball game. Wright State 66, Wisconsin Green Bay 58. Back with more on Time Warner Sports when we return in just a moment. $66-58 here at the Nutter Center, along with the Hall of Famer Mark Vest. I'm Geoff Kim. This one has been an excellent ball game from start and to our current point right now. 50% shooting for Wright State here in this ball game. 51% shooting in this contest for the Phoenix. It shows up on the scoreboard.
Well, you know, we've talked about it over and over and over. You shoot the ball well, you get second chance points. The Raiders 18-2 in that category. Have completely cleaned Green Bay's clock off the glass. And, you know, I'm sure Todd Kowalczyk in his timeout saying, guys, look, if we got to have a chance to win, we're only down 8. We've got 8 minutes left in the game. We have got to stop them on the glass. And Zach Williams, Drew Burleson, Jordan Pleiman, the list goes on, have done a tremendous job on the glass here this afternoon.
So Boyd will head to the line, trying to up the Raider lead. It's 1 in the bonus. Should be 9 team fouls now here against the visiting Phoenix. In and out. And Flores the rebound.
Boy, you got to make your free throws. Got to make free throws, especially against these good teams. Free throws not going to win all the games. They're just going to win all the close ones.
Foul on the floor. Before the shot, Burleson trying to work in on Mendaburu. Drew definitely not happy about it.
Well, you know, that's the same thing that happened to Zaki in the first half. You know, when you got somebody backing you down and you're going backwards, you know, and there you see Drew probably asking the same question. What do you expect me to do? You know, if I'm getting back straight up, where am I supposed to go? And boy, 2 physical players, both trying to gain an advantage. And Mendaburu gets it. The senior, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that employed, putting him down on that block, but
He goes back, and do they count the bucket and the foul on this one?
Going to give him the hoop.
They will indeed. Bucket and one here coming up from Mendaburu. He tried to create on his own, much like he did before the last foul on Drew Burleson.
Well, he's one of these guys. He's not the fastest guy around. He doesn't jump the highest. But, boy, I tell you, he can play this game. They're going to get on his back, and he's going to try and bring him back.
So Mendaburu to the firing line. Against the Raider faithful in the backdrop. No good. Six-point spread here for Wright State, 66-60.
Well, here's where you really have to be disciplined on the offensive end of the floor. You know, you really like to work the shot clock, shoot layups or shoot free throws, make this team play defense.
Wood, give back. Williams, cross arc, three, short. Pleiman, the putback, no good. He puts it back, bucket and one. He has really shown up huge against Wisconsin Green Bay this afternoon.
Well, I'll tell you what, if there's any way to schedule all your games Sunday at 2 o'clock, you need to figure out what it's going to take, because these guys have come out to play here this afternoon. Jerron Taylor with a good look off the baseline and draws a lot of iron. Jordan Pleiman keeping it alive. Enough strength to get it up. Second shot.
Pleiman rattles it home. Again, that front lip.
9 of 10 from the free throw line.
17 points off the bench for Pleiman. He has been stellar. Ivanachko working his way in. Turnaround low on the right. No good. Pleiman fighting for it.
Josh Lawrence is done.
Double bonus the rest of the way, by the way, for Wright State.
Big loss for Todd Kowalczyk, and his staff will watch it again. Mendaburu, and I think that time maybe all the questions about what should we do with him on the block. We might have got away with a foul right there. And Josh Lawrence, Jordan Pleiman hustling after a loose ball. Jordan Pleiman wins that battle. Josh Lawrence gets a permanent seat on the Green Bay bench. That young man's had a very nice ball game.
Yeah, he has. 15 points, 8 points, but he exits with 6:40 left to play in this contest. You know, it tells you something here, because Wright State has really played the paint very well this afternoon, but without Lawrence down there to help try and rebound, this might give Wright State another edge in rebounding.
Well, and he's been so dangerous from behind the arc. You know, there you see the line on Jordan Pleiman, 17 points, 7 rebounds, make it 18. The kid's saying, freshman what?
Well, Mark, you played this game. At this time of year, you ain't a freshman anymore.
No, he's played enough minutes. 11 and 12 now from the free throw line. That's getting it done. Showing a lot of maturity going to the free throw line in big games.
Ties the game high, 19 points. Mendaburu, the kick out. Ivanachko will take it back outside. 20 on the shot. 71-60. This is the biggest lead Wright State has had this afternoon. Ivanachko. Mendaburu back out. Ivanachko thought about three. Repost. Mendaburu. Low on the right. Puts it up. No good. Draws the foul shot. He picks it up.
Well, you know, the crowd hates it. Everybody's booing. But that's the essence of his game right there. He's so strong down on that block. We'll watch it again. They just continually dump it down there, and he gets low, turns, draws the foul. It's a tough player down on the block.
And the Bird, 2 of 3 at the line. He missed his last time down. He won't miss this one.
Well, Green Bay really presents a lot of matchup problems, because you take a Mendaburu at about 6'5", he can step out, he can handle the ball on the perimeter, he can shoot the three-point shots, you can put him on a block and post him up. Tough matchup.
Javier has 15 on the ball game. He leads his team in scoring along with the departed Lawrence. Taylor up top. 9-point spread for Wright State, 71-62. Zach low on the left.
A lot of time left in this one.
Blocking called down on the block. It's going to be on Flores. And he's in big-time foul trouble now, too.
Yeah,
he has 4.
That's 4 on Flores. The inside presence of the Phoenix being decimated by the whistle.
About ready to see Everett Spencer check back into this ballgame, getting some last-minute instruction by Paul Biancardi. Zach to the line. 3 of 5 with the stripes so far this afternoon. 13 points in the contest. No good.
Raiders substitution number 3, Everett Spencer.
Raiders 78% from the free throw line in this game. 18 out of 23. Coming into the game, shooting 66%, so they've bettered that mark here this afternoon. Zach with the rainbow.
Boy, did he draw rain on that one or what? 14 in the contest for Zach. 72-62. Wright State by 10. Ivanachko trying to post up. Getting some help down there. Flores, the kick out. Ivanachko for 3. He knocks it down.
Ryan Ivanachko.
Well, you pay so much attention to Mendaburu down on that block. And we talked about it before, his ability to find the open man. He delivers the basketball, and Ivanachko knocking down the big 3.
Williams again, lost it, gets it back, lost it. It's out of bounds. It'll stay up front off the hands of Tyler Koenig.
Boy, Benito Flores playing with a lot of intensity down there with 4 fouls. But you're down to the stretch run, 5 minutes, 16 seconds. You play hard. You get called for the foul, you're done, but you got to play hard. Benito Flores doing a nice job on the defensive end.
Williams leaves it for Wood. Gives back Williams. Works in on Flores. Puts it up and in.
Well, you got to like the attack there. Benito Flores with 4. Put the ball in Zach's hands and make him play defense.
Williams with 16 in the book. 74-65, Wright State. Mendaburu plays Ivanachko. Flores with it, top of the key. They're spreading the ball around. Mendaburu, strong move, tapped once, saved by Pleiman. Jordan has really been a man off the bench. He really has. I can't speak enough about him this afternoon.
The big guys have won this game. I'm sure they were challenged coming into this game by Coach Biancardi, saying you guys have got to win this basketball game for us. They've done a tremendous job.
In and out for Spencer. Belongs to Wisconsin Greenback.
Jordan Pleiman hustling his tail off right there. He's gotten a point with Mr. Jacuzzi after this game. There you see the team rebounds. The Raiders simply obliterating Wisconsin on the glass.
Game high 8 rebounds for Pleiman. Tied the game high in points scored with 19. Ivanachko thinking about 3. They post up. Mendaburu way outside. He tries to create. Brody with a long 3 and in. Got the shooters rolling that one.
Well, again, Mendaburu draws so much fire defensively. These two seniors, they've been through these wars before. Mendaburu with the dribble penetration finds his buddy Matt Rohde out on the perimeter, and he knocks down the big 3. Draws Green Bay within 6.
Taylor, cross court, Spencer, he is open for 3. It's off the mark. They've gone cold from behind the arc here in the second half. Rohde the kick out. Ivanachko back out. Koenig long range, no good. Second chance, and now we got a foul.
Everett Spencer.
Everett will pick up his second, and we are at the under 4 timeout with 3:14 left to go here in this contest. We are coming down the stretch. 74-68 Wright State. Back with more on Time Warner Sports. Here at the Nutter Center on senior night, or if you will, senior day for Zach Williams, but somewhat appropriate or inappropriate. It's a little weird to see that a freshman has stolen the show. Jordan Pleiman, a game-high 19 in points and a game-high 8 rebounds as well.
Well, and he's just done it with sheer determination and playing hard. There's a lot of things very, very technical about this game, but there's one that's very simple. Play hard. Jordan Pleiman has done that this afternoon along with the rest of his buddies. wearing the green and white with Wright State across the front. They've played extremely hard here this afternoon.
You know, Zach isn't to be outdone so far in this contest. 16 points, 4 rebounds of his own on the day to honor him here at the Nutter Center. So we're coming down the stretch. Rhodey to the firing line. Wisconsin Green Bay has shot 6 of 8 at the charity stripe. Front end of one in the bonus, no good, and Wood the rebound.
Boy, that doesn't happen very often.
Wood has the ball with 3 to play. Williams up top.
Boy, you got to take advantage of gifts, and Matt Rhodey missing a free throw right there was a gift. Jordan Pleiman gets fouled again.
Koenig picks up the personal.
Tyler Koenig, since early in the game when he and Zach Williams seemed like they knocked knees, he's been limping ever since and just couldn't get down the floor.
Jordan with 11 of 12 of the charity stripe. And boy, we see Todd Kowalczyk just incensed out on the Wisconsin Green Bay bench. First one home by Pleiman. He has 20 this afternoon. Just irate.
Yeah, I don't know what he's so worked up about. He's looking over at the scorer's table as Jordan Pleiman knocks down another free throw.
By the time we saw him on camera, he was calming down, but he got his panties in a bunch. 21 points for Jordan Pleiman. Foul coming before the bucket. And Drew is out. Drew is gone.
Well, and he's also gotten teed up. They need to take control of him, settle him down.
Burleson will lead the game with 19 points and 7 rebounds. He had a fine afternoon, just not the way he wanted to end it.
Wow.
Wow. That is a tough, tough call.
Well, you know, and then afterwards, all Drew did was went down and slapped the floor. You know, you get to game 28 of a college basketball season, and all a kid does is go down and slap the floor. Referees need to be able to handle that. I mean, he didn't say a word. He was right in front of us, showed a little emotion, went down, slapped the floor. We'll watch it again. Mendaburu, though, again, I mean, tough player. Feels the contact, turns. And I mean, you can, all he says, on me, goes down, slaps the floor. Well, I've seen a lot of things where people didn't get teed up.
By the way, the officiating crew this afternoon, Sid Rodeheffer, Stephen Skiles, and J.D. Collins. So if you want to sit complaint mail, those are the gentlemen to do it to.
Yeah, you hate to complain about officiating. You know, you really would like to talk more about the way that these young men have handled themselves. It's been a tremendous basketball game by both of these teams. Hard-fought battle, both ends of the floor. There's the Matt Rhodey we remember from the free throw line.
4 of 5 of the charity stripe, 16 points to lead his ball club in scoring. He has been deadly from long range this afternoon, 4 of 5. So Mendaburu now. Front end, 1 in the bonus. He hits. Well, the technical foul sure didn't help, that's for sure.
No, it didn't. You know, they're never good. You know, you give up free throws to a team like this, they're going to make them. They make all 4.
Wow, what was once an 8-point advantage has been cut in half, 76-72. So this has got to be a very smart possession right here.
Todd Kowalczyk, both coaches really rooting their teams on.
Boyd from long range, no good. Mendaburu gets the board.
Boy, maybe not the shot we want.
He cuts into the lane. He leaves it for Flores. He misses, and the back tap belongs to Wood. And a foul. Mark Koenig, of course, in the middle of your picture. Hands akimbo on top of the head, and he picks up the personal. That's his 3rd. Beg your pardon, that's his 4th.
Both these coaches realizing this is a very important game. They're both working the officials. There you see Paul Biancardi working on his Texas Hold'em face, staring down the official. Both these coaches, very intense. Deshaun Wood calmly walks up to the free throw line. Knocks down the first of 2.
2 of 2 at the line.
Call
Make
it
it
2.
3 at 3.
Raiders up 6.
By the way, it sounds to me that you've been watching too much World Series of Poker on the 4-letter network.
Again, we go to Menaburu on that block.
Fires it up, no good. Fight for it, still a fight for it, and a foul. Zach Williams came away with the ball, fouled from behind.
Got to tee him up. Tyler Koenig commits the foul. Shows some emotion. There you see Todd Kowalczyk doing some coaching, and there you see Paul Biancardi doing some politicking. We'll watch it again. Menaburu, offense of the half. They've gone to him every time on the block. And there you see Zach Williams coming up with it. Then Tyler Koenig slings his arm in the air. There you see the youngster not very happy about it. But, boy, I tell you, not a game for the faint at heart here this afternoon.
He fouls out of the ball game. Tyler Koenig does with 2 points. We have seen 3 players leave the premises here this afternoon.
You know, it's also very interesting to me, Jeff. These 2 teams could potentially match up in the semifinals. Horizon League, Wright State with a much tougher road to hoe. First round game against Butler. They win that, they get Detroit. They win that, they get the same Wisconsin Green Bay Phoenix back again. And I don't think there'll be any pleasantries exchanged before that one.
1 of 2 at the line for Deshaun. 12 points on the afternoon. And now Zach Williams. After the technical free throws here, Williams to the line. Zach has not had the greatest day at the line, 4 of 7, but he does have 16 points in the contest. Boy, he sure draws rain on those, doesn't he?
As a team, though, the Raiders 25 out of 31. Just a hair under 81%. That's how you win games.
Both of them are good. 18 for Zach. 81-72 Wright State. As we come up on the 2-minute mark left to play here in this ball game. Bucket and 1. No, we got a foul. It's an offensive foul. Pleiman holding his ground. Might have been a makeup, if you will, from the last time down.
Tell you what, in a game like this, takes a lot of guts by the freshman. Sticking in there, giving up his body. The referee right on the call. Now we got Green Bay employing full court pressure. Boy, if there's not a better man with the ball in full court pressure, Deshaun Wood. Powerful young man, keeps his head up, sees the floor.
Boyd gets a touch. Williams, now Taylor. Stoppage and play. Evanashko picks up a second quick here in the last 30 seconds or so.
Boy, there you see a tremendous stat if you're on the Green Bay end of things. 75% from behind the three-point arc. Raiders not enjoying the same success.
But that should just punctuate, Mark, just how good they've been in the paint this half.
Just drawing an over here in the second half. But as you mentioned, Jeff, they miss, they get on the glass, they create new possessions for themselves. And that's fueled a 9-point lead here late in this game.
The next one is up and no good. 2 misses at the line. The back tap belongs to Wright State.
Good decision. Good decision.
Another foul.
Zach Williams thinking, we're up 9. We don't need a shot right now. Turns his head, finds his point guard, delivers the ball. We get to the free throw line again.
Brandon Morris picks up the personal, and Wood back at the stripe. Well, it's a little late in the ball game. $1:40 left to go here, but we see another rebound for Deshaun Wood and 3 more assists. He gets a triple-double.
making free throws. Todd Kowalczyk across the floor just shaking his head, realizing, you know, they keep doing that. It's virtually impossible.
We had another foul.
Benito Flores, he got a lot of mileage out of his 5th foul.
My goodness. Wow, this game has been a game of attrition. That's the 3rd member of the Phoenix to foul out of the ball game, and a big threat going away. Benito Flores fouling out with 12 points in the contest.
There you see him taking a bench. And it's been such a physical game. We'll see it again. He gets locked up with Zach Williams down on the block. And
wow.
There you see the shove. And Zach does his best New York City, maybe Broadway imitation. Gives a little extra. Draws the personal foul. Benito, though, doing a nice job maintaining his composure, walking to the bench, realizing, hey, you know, we're not out of this thing yet. But if I blow my stack and we get teed up, it's over. So he does a nice job keeping his composure.
11-point spread with Williams to shoot a couple right here. Zach 6 of 11 at the stripe. Hits on the first attempt. You know, I can't think of anything nicer to see than Zach get a 20-point afternoon here on the day to honor him specifically.
Well, you know, and this has been his type of game. Very physical, a lot of action. Having to play defense, having to rebound, doing a lot of things, and today he stepped up on the offensive end. And another rebound.
Zach gives to Wood. Foul by Ivanochko.
Foul is on number 1.
We're still going to have to wait to see Williams get 20 here. He's sitting on 19 after the last miss at the stripe. Wright State has 4 players in double figures in scoring. 21, which is the game high for Jordan Pleiman, 19 apiece for Zach Williams and the departed Drew Burleson, and 14 for Deshaun Wood, who steps to the stripe. Well, let it be said that all the running up and down the floor and maybe second chance opportunities have made Wright State a little tired when it comes to taking some of these free throws. Yeah. 1 of 2.
Free throws is nothing but concentration and conditioning. Yeah, you get to the end of the game when fatigue starts to set in. And boy, Ivanochko, that's quick.
We are due for a break right here. The timeout charge to Wisconsin Green Bay, 85-75 in favor of Wright State. Back with more in just a moment. $85-75 in favor of Wright State. $1:23 left to go here in this contest. Along with the Hall of Famer Mark Vest, I'm Geoff Kim. We're courtside here at the Nutter Center. Glad to have you along for the ride. Zach Williams running the baseline, tosses to Taylor. Taylor draws a double team back to Williams. And now, up front, Zaki Boyd, and we got a foul. 1:16 left to play here in this one. Mendaburo picks it up. That's his 4th personal. You know, Mark, before too long, Wisconsin Green Bay's not going to have enough players to field the team.
Yeah, they'll be down to their bench players, and there you see the team fouls. You don't win by fouling that much. That's a big key. You got to keep your fouls down. Another key, you got to make a free throw. Zach Key that time leaves it a little short. Makes up for it on the second.
11-point lead for the Raiders. 72 seconds left to play. Another attempt, another miss, rebound, and a foul. Zaki Boyd will head to the line. Foul's going to be on Tiva Morris. There's a big load there for you. 6'9", 250 pounds, just a freshman out of Clinton, Tennessee. You look at the youth that's on this team, Mark, and you look at how big that youth is. You know, with Tiva Morris and Josh Lawrence, who's already fouled out of the ballgame. Future looks bright for this Phoenix team.
Well, and it's been a long time since they've had a big athletic big man. Tiva's going to have a good future at Green Bay.
1 of 2.
Zach Key struggling a little bit from behind the free throw line late in this game. Don't want to foul.
And DeBuro tosses to the near side. 3 attempt, knock it down for Rhodey. And a timeout charged to Wisconsin Green Bay. We're just under a minute left to go in this one. 87-78. We'll hold things right here. 59.3 seconds left to play in this contest. How about the play of Rhodey? 5 makes from behind the arc, giving him a team-high 19 points.
Yeah, he's a quality player. Always finds the space. And his teammates do such a great job of sharing the basketball. Menaburu right there knows where his partner in crime is at, puts the ball in his hands, and Rhodey does the rest, knocking down the 3.
87-78. On the cusp of perhaps a win here at this one. Wright State still making it a little interesting because they're not hitting on free throws down the stretch, and that's probably the only disappointment of this ball game to this point. Full court pressure. Williams plays Wood, gives back Williams, holds on to it. Lost the ball, gets it back, and now throws it up front. A 2-on-1, and now Boyd will hold out. And now he's fouled from behind.
Boy, Green Bay really trying to foul Zach Williams. That's why he held on to the basketball. Kind of worked out for the Raiders. You know, they don't get the foul. You run the clock, you burn some clock, and Zach Boyd still gets to the free throw line.
Meanwhile, Javier Mendaburu has just fouled out of the ball game. He leaves with 17 points and 9 assists. He had a stellar ball game.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that he does so many things well. You always have to account for him, whether it's on the offensive end of the floor, handling the ball, shooting the ball, working without the basketball. He's tough on the defensive end. And Zach Key making another free throw. Raiders now with 33 made free throws in this game.
Got them both this time. 89-78. They're still holding it at arm's length here with about 45 ticks of the clock left. Ivanachko, the kick out. Jumper is good from long range for Tiva Morris. And another timeout charge to Wisconsin Green Bay. Timeout charge to the Fighting Phoenix. 89-80 with 41.6 seconds left to play here in this ball game. Well, they have certainly stayed alive trying to foul and then keep alive by shooting shots. And give the Phoenix credit. They have hit those shots as Morris hits his first bucket of the afternoon. Wisconsin Green Bay shooting 49% from the floor. Now keep in mind that both teams have really cooled off since the first half, where both teams were well above that 50% mark. 28 of 57 from the floor. Wright State is 25 of 53 at the charity stripe, making part from the floor for 47%. Now the difference has been free throws, and it's been makes and attempts at the line. You look at Wisconsin Green Bay, and you can believe that Todd Kowalczyk is just beside himself with the number of fouls called against his team. Wisconsin Green Bay, 10 of 13 at the charity stripe. That's good for 77%. That's a heck of a percentage. But if you look at the home team, Wright State is 34 of 46. They have 46 attempts in this contest for 74%. That is absolutely getting it done. Both teams have handled the ball very well. 7 turnovers for Wright State, 9 turnovers for Wisconsin Green Bay. So turnovers have not been a concern. It has become a game of attrition. 4 players have fouled out of this ball game for Wisconsin Green Bay. The lone Raider to foul out has been Drew Burleson. So a game of attrition to be sure here in this contest. Jordan Pleiman still leading the way in scoring with 21 points. The game high in rebounding now belongs to Deshaun Wood with 9. Zach Williams will run the baseline. Tosses in, Zaki Boyd, quick toss over for Jaron Taylor, a 2-on-1, fouled from behind by Tiva Morris. That's an intentional foul there against Morris. That's a third personal on Tiva.
Morris, an intentional foul call. His third.
So it'll be Taylor to the line, and this game will become garbage time in effect here with all the fouls and quick attempts that we're going to see for Wisconsin Green Bay. Taylor will hit the first. 90 points in the book, 91 points in the book for Wright State. But the way this game has gone with the number of fouls that we have seen, Wright State State might actually have a chance to get to the century mark, believe it or not. Zach Williams will lead to a standing ovation here at the Nutter Center. 19 points, 6 boards, and 3 assists. A fine afternoon by the lone senior here at the Nutter Center. Wood in his own back end. Holds onto it, finds Taylor on the sideline. And now is fouled from behind, this time from Brandon Morris. 30.5 seconds left to play in this contest. That is number 4 on Morris. So Taylor heads to the line where he is 2 of 2 at the stripe, 5 points in the book. He misses the first attempt. Wright State will have taken 50 attempts at the line this afternoon. After this one, and he gets 1 of 2. So Geron has 6 in the contest, 92-80. Brody steps around, kicks it out. Morris missing, short-arming the 3. Taylor the rebound. Holds onto it for Deshaun Wood. Will they call off the dogs yet? No. Taylor has it. Now back over for Wood. Across the timeline, and he picked up the dribble. 15.9 seconds remaining in this contest. Everett Spencer will check into this ball game. Deshaun Wood will lead to a nice ovation here at the Nutter Center. 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. Morris finds Rhodey up top. Back to Morris, spots 3, left it short. Back tap, belongs to Boyd. He'll run it out. He'll hold on to it, draws the double team, and now draws the foul. I don't know. 3.7 seconds left. You know, if nothing else, you leave him alone if you're Wisconsin Green Bay. He elected not to go for the breakaway dunk, but you decide to foul him, and now Boyd back to the firing line to shoot some more. It does seem, in this one announcer's opinion, it does seem a little Bush League to follow him at this point of the ballgame with this big a lead. Morris checks out, and number 15, Daniel Monday checks in, 6'3", 180 pounds, a freshman out of Secret Harbor, Australia. Boyd hits the first. Saki is 5 of 8 at the charity stripe. 13 points. Trying to make it 14. He does. Go along with 4 rebounds. Ivanachko plays Rhodey, spots 3 right wing, misses it, and see you later. Final score here at the Nutter Center, 94-80. Wright State a winner. They improved to a record of 14-14. 8-8 in the Horizon Lake. Wisconsin Green Bay falls to a record of 17-10, 10-6 in the Horizon Lake. A fine afternoon for a number of Wright State players, led by the freshman off the bench, Jordan Pleiman, a game-high 21 to go along with 8 rebounds. So we are waiting to have the comments here of the head coach, Paul Biancardi, Mark Best standing by. A fine afternoon for Wright State, 47% shooting against just a hair under 47% for Wisconsin Green Bay. They chucked up some shots at the very end. And we're seeing Mark Best joined by Paul Biancardi. And now we will send it out to Mark. And let's go out to Mark right now with the head coach.
Coach, senior night, senior afternoon, always a difficult game to prepare for. You got a great effort out of the senior right here in Zach Williams.
Well, there's no question. It was a special day today. Zach put it on his back and carried us like he has at home all year long.
Zach, I thought you really played with a lot of intensity. You, Jordan, Drew, you answered the call. You came out. You answered the physical game. Got a big win here at home.
Yeah, definitely important to get back to 500 and win on your senior night is a big, especially having my parents in the stands. But I think the guys did a great job in coming out and competing tonight and helping me win and going away.
Congratulations at the end of a great career here at Wright State. Coach, I think another stat that I saw, you made 25 more free throws than they attempted. Big stat.
Well, Mark, we were trying to get the line on dribble penetration. We're trying to get the ball inside and get to the foul line. We were fortunate enough to get to the line and make our free throws.
Coach. Thanks for spending a couple minutes with it. Enjoy this one.
Thank you. Special day.
Geoff, let's go back to you.
Mark, thank you very much. And again, to go with what you had said, Wright State went to the line 52 times in this ball game, making 39. Again, your final, Wright State 94-80. We'll take a timeout here. Mark and I will come back and wrap it up courtside here at the Nutter Center when we return on Time Warner Sports.
TWTV's presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dodge, Cub Foods, Wright State University, and by Pepsi. TWTV's presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Horizon League, Morris Home Furnishings, and by Gold Key Homes.
A fine win this afternoon for the Raiders. They improved to the 500 mark at 14-14 on the strength of a 94-80 win here at the Nutter Center. Mark Vestry joins me. And Mark, what an impressive effort this afternoon by Zach Williams and company.
Well, you know, big players step up, make big plays, and there you see all the thanks and camaraderie, which is what Zach will miss the most. But still got a little unfinished business in that Wright State 100 green and gold. Moving on to the Horizon League Conference Tournament. All smiles here this afternoon for the Raiders, a 94-80 win.
Zach with 19 points in the contest. The game high 21 for Jordan Pleiman off the bench. Looking at these team numbers here, pretty even, but they don't really show how the Raiders dominated in the paint.
Well, you know, I think the one stat where you see it is on the rebounds there. The Raiders completely obliterate Green Bay on the backboards, both ends of the floor, and second chance points 21-2 in favor of the Raiders. And you know, you get 21-2 second chance points and you get to the free throw line 52 times, you're going to win.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's like, and you look at the number of free throws made and attempted by Wisconsin Green Bay. A nice percentage, 77%, 10 of 13, but it was just that, 10 of 13.
Yeah, the Raiders, 29 more made free throws than, actually 26 more free throws made than Green Bay even attempts. They just don't get the opportunity to combine. And you know, the Raiders created those opportunities by getting on the glass and attacking the backboard.
Oh, and how about the play of Jordan Pleiman? You know, it's really kind of odd to talk about a freshman on senior day, but a game-high 21 coming off the bench, not bad for the freshman. A nice sign of things to come.
Yeah, he did a great job. And, you know, you saw a picture of all the Raiders out enjoying some time with the fans, a lot of the young fans stopping by for autographs. And, you know, they came out, they played with intensity. They were prepared to be here. Drew Burleson there at your center of your screen. Came out, played with tremendous intensity and tremendous heart, and it translates into a big victory.
And before we go, Mark, as we wrap things up here for the 2004-2005 regular season, 14-14, about the same record they had last year, but this is a better team.
Well, I agree. I think their out-of-conference schedule this year was very, very challenging. And, you know, they've had some up and downs, but going into the tournament, I think this is the note you want to go in on.
Wright State, again, improving to 14-4 to wrap up the season, 8-8 in the Horizon League. Wisconsin Green Bay falling to 17-10, 10-6 in the Horizon League, 94-80. Wright State a winner this afternoon here at the Nutter Center. For Mark Vest and our entire Time Warner crew, I'm Geoff Kim. We bid you so long to the 2004-2005 season here at the Nutter Center. So long, everyone.